Coming up on RaiderVision, we wrap up our series featuring local journalists in honor of Black History Month with CBS 4 sports anchor Jim Barry. And we review Pixar's latest animated release, Soul. I'm Claire Russell, and this is RaiderVision. The school recently unveiled its Black History Month virtual gallery filled with projects from different departments. Here's reporter Issa Perry with more.
The school recently unveiled its virtual museum of projects celebrating Black History Month. Faculty members Tori Sparks and Manuel Santelices spearheaded the project as a way to get this entire school community involved.
We came up with the idea to have a virtual museum because we were trying to think of things that work for the students who are in person and the students who are remote. But with COVID restrictions, we decided to do like an online virtual exhibition instead. The purpose of the project is just to make sure that in all of our classes across like each discipline and content area, that students are having the opportunity to engage in like some culturally relevant lessons and learning about how, Black history is American history.
The gallery showcases work spanning across multiple departments.
Teachers kind of had the option to do what they wanted within their discipline as long as it connected in some way to acknowledging the contributions of Black Americans. So for example, in a math class, they may have looked at statistics on the human computers or the women who were featured in the movie Hidden Figures. English classes, I know that some teachers were looking at Amanda Gorman's poem that she spoke at the inauguration of Biden and Kamala Harris.
Overall, students' responses were positive.
I think that Black History Month was a great way for the school to show tribute to Black figures in history, and I also thought it was really cool how every class incorporated it into their curriculum.
I think that what the school did for Black History Month was very important and educational for students because it's important to remember Black culture and what has happened in the past.
This is Issa Perry for RaiderVision.
If you have not yet taken your photo for the yearbook, the final makeup picture day will take place today after school at the church, by appointment only. This is your last chance to be included in the yearbook. Check your emails to make an appointment. Disney recently released its latest Pixar film on Disney+. The movie Soul had streaming charts skyrocketing during the week of its release. Here's Jaden Outar with his review.
Pixar's newest animation movie, Soul, is about a jazz pianist named Joe, who has a near-death experience which puts him in the afterlife. He rethinks about his choices and the regrets he had about the existence that he mostly took for granted. The movie was directed by Pixar veteran Pete Docter. He did a great job of making the movie feel like less of a children's movie and more of a film you could watch with your family. There are many lessons and challenges that can be just as beneficial to anyone. The movie was also historic because it was an all African-American animation film. Pixar has come out with some great movies in the past couple years like Coco and Inside Out. This movie tackled some of the same concepts as those two. I can safely say that I believe this movie is just as good or maybe better. The movie is filled with more profound intellectual messages than we are used to seeing from Pixar, which may be the reason why some can't be as emotionally invested as other Pixar movies. Some downfalls to the movie is that I wish it went more in depth in certain things throughout the movie, like characters or Joe's childhood. In all, I truly love this movie and feel like it was a movie anyone would fall in love with.
Now to sports.
The Gulliver Prep boys soccer varsity team defeated the Bishop Moore Hornets in a 3-1 FHSAA state semifinals game to book a spot in the state championship game next Thursday. With only 2 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the game, freshman starter Cosme Salas collected a serve into the box from junior defender Jorge Bajorquez, then cut inside the pressing defender before releasing a thunderous shot to the back of the net. The Hornets, however, pounced on a lost ball into the Raiders' 18-yard box and knocked the ball past advancing goalkeeper Dominic Pratt. Momentum stayed in the Raiders' favor as they placed the Hornets under tremendous pressure. Senior forward Marco Gutierrez led the attack on a beautifully collected a pass into the opponent's defensive third. As he was about to turn to release a shot, the defender pulled Guti down into the box directly in front of the match officials, who called the infringement and awarded a penalty. Jack Epstein, who continues to feed off his team's energy, stepped up to the penalty box to put the game 2-1 up for the Raiders. And with only 2 minutes left in the game, Epstein once again found the back of the net, this time from a pass inside the box from fellow junior Pablo Perez. Epstein showed composure to touch pass an advancing defender before driving the ball past the Hornets goalkeeper, assuring the Raiders all 3 points.
Epstein with the ball, Epstein looking to score.
The state championship game will be held at the Spec Martin Stadium on the campus of Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, and kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Cosme Salas had this to say post-game.
Oh, I thought we played great as a team, and we were the team that wanted it more, so we came up on top. And now we're headed on to state finals.
For RaiderVision, I'm Massimo Del Rio.
Unfortunately, the varsity girls soccer season came to an end against Cardinal Gibbons in a loss of 2-0. Now Lonnie Brown recaps on the positives of this season.
One of the positives that came out of this was that everyone was able to play this year, and we didn't know from the beginning of whether we'd be able to play. And once we found out that we were all super excited. We were ready to get back on the field and train again. But we also knew that it could possibly end at any moment. So we had to come to every practice, commit to playing, and put our hardest out whenever we had a game.
Last week, the varsity boys baseball team had their senior night against Somerset Academy Silver Palms, defeating the team 14-5. Both water polo teams won their games this past weekend. The girls defeated Matter Lakes 26-2, the boys defeated Matter Lakes 28-3, along with defeating Columbus 26-9. The varsity girls lacrosse team had a win over Lords 12-7, and varsity boys lacrosse had a win over Ransom 13-6. And now here's Arthur with the weather.
This week's weather will be highlighted by warm and sunny weather in the mid-80s and low 70s. And us Raiders can be expecting more of this weather as we move into the warmer season closer to summer. For RaiderVision, I'm Arthur Veeder.
Thanks, Arthur. We continue our celebration of Black History Month with our series of interviews with local journalists. Reporter Jonah Schachter spoke to CBS 4 sports anchor Jim Barry.
Five-time Emmy Award-winning sports anchor Jim Barry has been broadcasting for over 40 years. Mr. Barry and I had the chance to sit down and talk about his career path.
What is it like to be an anchor and to go on camera every day?
It's exciting, I will say that. It's the kind of business where it does challenge you to be consistent, and I think that's one reason I like it. Every day is different. Every story is different. Every sportscast is different. Every newscast is different.
What has helped you to get to that point? I know that you've been on the news for a long time. You've been working as an anchor for how many years has it been?
I've been in the business over 40 years. I've been in Miami. I first came to Miami in 1988. Left for a few years, went to Chicago, and came back in 1996. I've been here ever since.
Before you go on camera, what do you think of that's gotten you to this point?
Doing your homework, going over what you do, being ready when the time comes. There's every story that I write. I pick it apart to make sure I'm saying it the way I want to say it. Every sportscast that I write before I go on, I look at it to make sure that I'm not missing something. So it's that attention to detail, I think, is a huge part of what we do.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
This month represents an opportunity for us to, recognize that all of us have had a role in this. When we, when you go home and you turn on the air conditioning, you don't think about it, but then you realize that, there was an African American who created air conditioning. When you're driving your car and you come up to a stoplight and the light changes from red to green, you don't think about it, but a Black person invented that. So a lot of the things that that we have, that African Americans have contributed to this country have been, I don't know, swept under the rug, and that's a shame. And so I think that Black History Month to me serves as an opportunity for us to learn our history, our shared history. We all are in this nation together. We are all trying to get better and reach a point where we want the best from everyone, no matter where they're from, no matter their skin color, no matter their gender. Look, I understand fully that I'm where I am because of the contributions that people made before I got here.
In addition to hosting Miami Dolphins pregame show, you can catch Jim Barry Monday through Friday on the evening news on CBS 4. For RaiderVision, I'm Jonah Schachter.
That's all for RaiderVision. We'll see you next time.